Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce to you the Noob build, an intermediate to advanced build, but also a perfect angle for newer players who want something powerful, stylish, and extremely satisfying to work toward. So, enough chit chat. Let's dive in. What is up, everybody? It is Into the Wicked, and today I'm bringing you one of the most fun, most explosive Plague Fire combos I've made so far. Why does this build exist? So here's that entire idea behind the build. Plague buildup reduces enemies' fire resistance to around 20%. That means once they're fully infected, they take bonus fire damage from any fire-infused weapon. And that's where the Mortal Kombat inspiration comes into play. Just like Noob Saibot tagging enemies with darkness before finishing the job, we infect them with Plague, shred their fire resistance, and then swap to a fire weapon to burn them down with massive increase in damage. So you're basically debuffing the enemy with your Plague set and then pulling out the fire daggers to finish them like a fatality. So the next question we have is, okay, well, what is this build made up of? What makes it tick? Well, here we got the gear breakdown. We're gonna be using the Dredge Knight armor set as well as Black Spark mitts, which is essentially our MVP item, along with Ash Suit's daggers. We are going to have a Plague version and a Fire version. With that being said, now we can dive into the details of what is what. And we're going to start with, again, like I said, the MVP item, which are the Black Spark mitts. So as you can see on the card, we have execute infected low health enemies, plus 20% Plague buildup, focus gain, health on kill, and the gem plus 20 stamina recovery. And also a little side note, that last one for the red text part, you guys can add whatever you want or roll whatever you guys want. I just decided to do the take 20% damage on focus use because I personally don't feel any sort of those type of debuffs in this game in particular, but it's up to you and whatever you feel is going to help your play style. But bottom line, these gloves are, again, the heart of the build, your MVP. They apply Plague insanely fast, keep your stamina flowing, and that execute enchant, as always, is perfect, especially when they're infected. Just deletes them off the map. And moving off that topic, we're going to be going into our chest armor, which is the Dredge Knight armor. We have max health plus 15, damage taken minus 10, and focus gain plus 15. Nothing too fancy here. This piece itself keeps you tanky, consistent, and way more survivable when with the Plague set as a whole. Furthermore, the other magic rarity item we are going to be having is our Dredge Knight bottoms. Have damage plus 15 for 10 seconds after dodging, healing plus 15, focus gain plus 15, and for our gems, stamina cost minus 10. These pants reward clean dodges and keep your stamina economy healthy because you are going to be swinging quite a bit. And lastly, to round out our whole armor set, we have our Dredge Knight hood. Fire damage plus 15, focus on status inflict. We're going to get a plus 15 as well. Damage taken minus 10, and then our gem infection buildup plus 15. And then rounding it off, we have indestructible and unrepairable. Again, that's key if you want to contradict both those traits. But honestly, I'm gonna leave that up to you guys if you want to add another enchantment or just you want to add a different last red trait as well. But this helmet is huge. You get Plague buildup and that fire damage, which obviously exactly is what this build needs and strives to do. But the most important part of this piece obviously is the weapons. And we're going to be rocking the same weapons for this build. We're going to be having our Ash Suit daggers. Also, this one took a little bit of time to figure out because I wasn't sure if I wanted to have Ash Suit daggers and then have some sort of big weapon item to follow that. And then I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna make another set, keep it the same way, That way, I'm not wasting points in other attributes. But furthermore, we're gonna have our plague daggers, which again, magic rarity, plague infusion, durability based, damage scaling, healing scaling, and then most important is that life steal gem. These are going to be your starters. You use them to build plague as fast as possible. It's almost like if anyone has played Borderlands 2, you guys would know when you guys had a slag, any sort of slag weapon, you know for a fact that was a necessity at a certain point. This is essentially your slag. And then your damage dealing are going to be those fire daggers. We are going to have fire damage infusion, damage plus 30% versus large enemies, focus on kill, health on kill, stamina recovery, and then the gem. Obviously, like I said, the fire damage infusion. These are your finisher blades. Once the enemy is infected, these daggers tear through the health bar because their fire resistance is shredded or down. So now we're gonna go over our rings. So first off, we are going to have our Jade ring, which is stamina on damage dealt, which is a big necessity in this build. Next is Band of Calmness, 25% focus gain, 50% max focus. And lastly, in my opinion, one of the best rings in the game, Willow Cap ring, 15% overall speed, makes everything faster, and which we need because we attack a lot. But we are not done. Now we have to go over our utility runes and runes, which are the secret sauce to this build. 1, Blink. Great for repositioning, avoiding chip damage, keeping that pressure. And because the dredge hood generates so much focus, you can literally blink almost all the time. And it's so satisfying. 2nd, Damage Surge. Your boss melting button, we all know this. A clean 30% base damage, which stacks beautifully with the shredded fire resistance. We also have Channel, great for accumulating that focus as we need. And lastly, Healing Aura. But now I want to go over the most important runes we have for the build. And those 2 runes are Dashing Stab and Dual Slash. Dashing Stab, you can think of it as a poor man's Dual Flurry, and Dual Slash. This move is hard hitting and almost close to inflicts plague right away when you use it on those plague daggers. But furthermore, to look for these 2, Dashing Stab, you are going to find it from the chip daggers, and Dual Slash, you're going to find it from the rogue messers. So what's the playstyle we're going to be working with while we're playing? Well, it's simple. Apply plague fast. Your plague daggers plus that black spark mist apply infections extremely quickly. Once they're fully infected, fire resistance is about 20% down. We are going to swap to our fire daggers. Now you're going to deal massive increased fire damage. Finish the enemy with the burn base fatality. The whole gameplay loop is simple. Infect, resist shreds, burn, execute. And because plague and fire can't be active together, you're not stacking statuses. You're exploiting plague's debuff to boost fire. And this is where it works in perfect synergy. Because of all that hitting, you're going to be accumulating a lot of focus and going to be having that open window to blink a lot. You don't need perfect parries, you don't need flawless dodges, you don't need a complicated rune setup. You just get in, attack quickly, infect the enemy, swap, burn them down to a crisp, blink when needed, and it's just a perfect loop. Also, a little side note for anybody who is playing on controller, or if you're playing on keyboard, I've come to learn that switching between weapons could be a little bit cumbersome. So I went ahead, I play on controller, so I'm going to explain to the best of my ability so everybody can understand. When you are switching between weapons, it can be hard. So I ended up going to my controller layout and changing the buttons around. I ended up going with changing the block button and the main hand slot button. I'm trying to explain it to the best of my ability, but those 2 buttons I did end up swapping so that way I'm not moving my thumb in a weird way, and ended up becoming real crisp between movesets, because you have to find that certain rhythm in order to swap the weapons, or else they're not going to swap. So that's definitely something I will say. You make sure you understand the weapons windows on when your character's animation is going to stop, to then press the next button to switch to those fire weapons. But that is the new build in a nutshell. It's going to give you a little bit different taste on how to play No Rest for the Wicked in the Breach Refined. Again, I hope you guys like it. I definitely want to say thank you guys to all the comments and being so supportive of this channel. I do intend to give you guys my best always, day in and day out. So I do want to say a special thank you for you guys. But this has been Into the Wicked. If you enjoy builds, guides, breakdowns, and updates for No Rest for the Wicked, The Breach Refined, I got you covered. Thank you for watching. Thank you for reaching out. And I will definitely see you in the next one. Peace.